We have member of the EFF, Rebecca Mhlala, to speak to us about this matter and just get a sense of what the EFF is saying, where the EFF is around this issue, and of course the developments that we now have. And so we know that where we land is because we know effectively that there will not be a VAT increase by the 1st of May because there is effectively a court ruling on the matter. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome.
Good evening. Let me take the opportunity and greet your listeners at home.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Well, just to take from the briefing that Julius Malema led earlier in the day, what are the key issues that the EFF is communicating to the public around the matter of the VAT?
Sir, the EFF went to court. That is what I can say at the moment. And we have won a big case that affects the ordinary people, the poorest masses of the people. Let me just simplify this matter. Government planned to increase VAT, which is the tax that you pay every time you buy things like food, like clothes, electricity. They wanted to increase it from 15% to 15.5%. That means that things like cooking oil, sugar, soap, and even airtime were about to become even more expensive. So as the EFF, we said, no, that cannot happen. Not to the poorest masses of the people that are suffering every day, the people that have no food, the people that are getting social grant in a form of 350 rand every month from the government. Then as the government, you then plan to put a burden over them. We said, go and tax the rich, go and tax corporate, go and tax people that are moneyed, instead of taxing our poorest people that have no money, that are suffering, that are sleeping with no food, that have no shelter, they have nothing. They're suffering. Thank you.
All right. So you oppose the VAT. You are also among the parties that actually went to court, you and the Democratic Alliance. Please tell us about that court ruling. What actually happened? Is it a result of parties agreeing to let go of the previous process that has happened, and just the setup that led us to the ruling by the court as we now know it?
So we went to court because we are not happy as the EFF, as the economic freedom fighters. We joined the DA. So we came in to support the DA, but we have our own side of the story that we wanted to present in court. One of the issues why we went to court is because we are saying that the people cannot afford the VAT. That's why we went to court for the suspension of the VAT, because we feel like it's a burden to our people. The second thing, we were saying that the budget processes that took place during the Portfolio Committee of Finance in Parliament was not appropriate. So, Section 84 of the Money Bill says that the budget issues come before the committee, and before they can be tabled to Parliament, the committee must adopt, the committee must accept, or the committee must amend the budget. That never happened. So that is the reason why the EFF took the matter to court. As you look at the judgment from the court, the judgment is actually supporting exactly what the EFF wanted from the court. The judgment says that let the VAT be upheld until proper processes take place in Parliament. You know, the ANC forget that they've lost the majority in Parliament. They do as they wish. They don't respect other political parties because as they don't have numbers, they used to do those things before. Do whatever they want to do, put burden to the people, but because of the majority, they were able to overrule everything. But now, we are saying, come before us, let's talk about these issues, let's agree. They couldn't agree, even with their GNU partners, the DA. But we know very well that the DA, when in Parliament, they were talking something else. I mean, in court, they were fighting for something else, which, as the EFF, were agreeing on certain issues, not on everything. We were fighting for the poorest masses of our people as the economic freedom fighters. But the ruling of the court, according to us, the EFF has managed to win the case to relieve the poorest masses of the people for being overburdened by the decision of government, which was actually inappropriate. So we think from now going forward, the ANC must come forward and we go and sit in committee of parliament and negotiate on these things. And the only thing, as the president has said earlier in the press briefing, let them make sure that they tax the corporate. Let them get money. There's a lot of money. They are not even collecting taxes. They must collect taxes because there is no capacity at SARS. So they must all do all those things so that our people can be protected.
Okay. So I was obviously going to ask you about what do you believe should be done? But otherwise, having covered that, let me ask you about this. Now, as far as the EFF is concerned, with the court ruling now being as it is, what are the processes that needs to happen next? Should there be a new sitting and a new budget, or what are the processes that needs to happen next?
The processes that must unfold, they must go back to the portfolio committee and come out with a proper decision, following all processes. And we know with the following of the processes, this committee must still go back to the people and do what we call public participation and ensure that they come back, they adopt, they then come and table the matter in parliament. But before July, the end of July, because everything that they do after the end of July, the law says that if things doesn't happen within the period of July, after July, Parliament must collapse. We must go back to elections and go and vote again so that we can put the government that speaks for the people, the government that stands for the majority of the people in South Africa, the government that creates jobs. Because the reason why we are facing this thing, the MC cannot create jobs, the MC cannot create revenue, money is stolen, there is malfeasance in the administration of all institutions in South Africa. Hence, they are now sitting with this burden of having to increase VAT in order for them to have money in their in the government coffers. So we are saying, let's go back to the drawing board. Let the people of South Africa choose the party that stands for them, the party that they are always with them. This is what we are saying as the economic freedom fighters.
When you say let the people choose the party, are you saying let's have elections again?
Let's have elections again after July. The people must go and vote for the budget because we don't have a budget. After July, if we don't go through all the processes, as I've tabled them now here, as I've outlined them now here before when I'm speaking to you, let's go back and vote and bring the party that can stand. The NC has failed. You can see now there's nothing that is happening. We are saying let them go back to the portfolio committee, go back to public, speak to the public about the budget, come back if they agree in the portfolio committee, table the budget in parliament. This is what the court said. Follow all the processes as you're supposed to follow. Because anything that you do in South Africa and is not in line with the constitution is null and void. Let's follow the constitution. This constitution, they are claiming they are the drafters of this constitution. But today we see them doing something else. Let's follow exactly what the constitution requires from us. Because if we don't do that, we'll end up changing South Africa into a banana republic. Where there's no laws, where there's nothing. We cannot allow our country to go into that direction.
What are you saying about the Minister of Finance?
The Minister of Finance must just do an honorable thing and resign from Parliament. We're not like the MK that says that they're going to put a motion of no confidence against the minister. It doesn't work like that. The minister is being placed by the President of the Republic of South Africa to be the minister. So if we want to remove the minister, as the EFF, we are requesting, let me start like this. Instead of removing the minister, let's put a motion of no confidence against the President of South Africa if he doesn't see anything wrong with the minister. Because we can see the minister is failing the country. So the President of South Africa must stand up as soon as possible and remove Enoch Godongwana. If Enoch Godongwana cannot assist himself by resigning, the President of South Africa must do that. If he's failing to do that, we're going to support anything that speaks about having to put a motion of confidence against Cyril Ramaphosa. The EFF will support that, will remove Cyril Ramaphosa from that position of being the president. At the moment, he's quiet. We don't know where he is. He has ran away from the people. We cannot have a president like him.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Good evening to you.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. That is Rebecca Mhlala, member of the EFF, speaking to us about that issue, of course, pursuant to the press briefing that took place earlier in the day. The leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, addressed that one and some of the matters that are being reiterated in this conversation.